Imagine lying your way to being cast as James Bond. That's exactly what this guy did. Let's get into the bizarre story of how George Lazenby was cast as James Bond. George Lazenby only played Bond for one movie, and that was On Her Majesty's Secret Service. He was cast after Sean Connery had played Bond in 5 movies and revealed to the world that he was just done playing the role. So this put the studio in a rather odd position of having to recast the role. There was a huge casting process, and at the end of it, the rather shock announcement of George Lazenby as James Bond, an Australian actor that literally nobody had ever heard of. So how on earth was he cast as Bond? This story is insane and probably one of my favourite Hollywood movie kind of trivia stories. Let's get into what happened. So George Lazenby was actually an Australian model. He wasn't an actor. He hadn't really acted in anything before. He was trying to become an actor and he was kind of doing odd jobs. He was a mechanic for a while. He was selling stuff, a car salesman as well. There was a lot of different things on his CV, but actor was not one of those things. When it was announced that they were casting for a new Bond, he was very interested. And what he ended up doing was actually kind of just skipping the casting process basically completely. So he ended up making up a load of films that he had supposedly starred in Europe. So it was actually movies and TV shows. He did these fake kind of graphics showing him in these films. Honestly, it's insane. And then just kind of stalked the casting director. He went to Sean Connery's hairdresser, got the exact same haircut, dressed up for the role, bought himself a suit, went to wherever the casting director's office was, and kind of just kept on going there until he caught the eye of the casting director. And he was kind of like, yeah, you know what? This guy's got the look. He got him a screen test. So George Lazenby ended up getting a screen test for Bond. And actually, if you look into how he prepared for the role, I think he was by far the most prepared person for that role. He learned martial arts. He studied those films meticulously. He studied what it was like to actually be a leading man in a film. He did a lot of research. And the casting director was so impressed that he pushed for him to be Bond. Eventually, the producers agreed. They didn't want him to be cast in the role. They wanted a bigger name, but eventually they cast him, and the rest is history. He was actually then, after On Her Majesty's Secret Service, offered £1 million contract, and he refused. So he only ever did one film. What do you make of this insane story? Let me know in the comments.